Alright, so here's what we're going to do. So if you can see over here on the right, I've brought in a couple of images. I brought in just a random Celtic cross and an American flag. Okay, now if I understood you correctly, what you're looking for is a cookie cutter type effect, to where the American flag is bound within the shape of the Celtic cross. Now you might want it to be a little bit more ornate, but once I show you this basic technique, you'll be able to do what you need to do. Now understand that there's some finite areas that we're going to be looking at here, curves and things like that, and the tools I'm going to show you might not get exactly up to it, but it should accomplish what you're looking to do with it. So let me go ahead and start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the magic wand tool, which is over here. So the magic wand tool, and what that's going to allow me to do, make sure that the layer that I'm working with is the one that's selected. So I'm going to select the cross layer because I want to select the white areas for the cross. So I'm going to go ahead and select the white areas. I'm going to shift click. All right, let me go back a little bit here. Control D is deselect. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click the big white area around the cross by clicking on it once. Then I'm going to select these 4 white areas here by shift clicking, holding the shift key down and selecting each of these areas. Okay. Now this represents the area that, it's actually the negative of the area that we want to use for the flag over the cross. Now, this is where it gets easy. You can leave these little lines up here. These are called ants. Okay, you can leave your ants running. Select your layer for your flag. Turn it back on if you don't have it on. Then what we're going to do is we've already got these areas selected for the flag. Okay, the areas that we want to get rid of are already selected, and the way you can double check this, the areas that you want to get rid of, is you click on this little quick mask mode down here, and you see whatever the area is that does not have the reddish pinkish hue over it is going to be the area that is removed. So this is what we want. We've got it selected right. So we're going to click this pick mask mode, turn it off again, and we're going to click on the delete key or the backspace key. I'm going to use the delete key. And now we have, I'm going to control D for deselect. That turns off the ants. Now we have an American flag in the shape of a Celtic cross. It's really that easy. I'm going to show you a couple other things really quick, okay, just to show you what you can work with here. I'm going to back up a little bit here in the history to go before the deselect, okay, that way the white is still there for the cross. I'm going to turn off the flag real quick, and I'm going to delete those areas on the cross too. Okay, turn the flag back on. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about layer styles, okay, or not layer styles, it's transfer modes. Okay, this area right here, or blending modes, is a drop down that lets you select different blending modes. Okay, for example, if I select multiply, multiply removes all of the white values of an image and leaves the dark values, and you have a transparency for the image that you have selected. In this case, we're going to select the flag, and we're going to choose multiply, and it kind of does an overlay over the art. Okay, and it's not a permanent thing. You can go back to normal and have it be exactly as you want. Or if you want to select the lighter areas, okay, you can use either screen. It gives you a similar effect, but it shows just the lighter. Or you can use linear dodge add, which kind of brings out the colors of the item that's underneath it using the white or the lighter colors of the hues of the flag portion. Okay, so that's basically how you do it right there. Your cookie cutter is very simple. Okay, transfer modes right here are very helpful to give different type of blending modes. One more thing that I want to show you here, I'm going to turn this back to normal. Okay, I'm going to show you layer styles. So we're going to go up here to layer, and we're going to select where's it at here? Layer style. Okay, so we're just going to click on blending options. Now this is your dialog area right here, and this is your selection of different styles right here. Okay, so blending option, here's another area where you can select different blending modes like we were doing down here in this area. Okay, this just brings up all the options you can do with your layers. So I'm going to turn this real quick back to normal. I want to show you a couple of other things in here, like say we put a stroke on it. Okay, I just put a stroke on the outside, and I'm going to change the color real quick so it's easier to see. So this has a stroke on the outside. If you want it a little bit thicker, you just adjust the size of your stroke. Oh well, apparently that's on the inside. Okay, but if you want it on the outside, just tell it to put it on the outside, or you can have it right in the middle. Okay, so we're going to put it on the inside real quick, just for the sake of demonstration. Okay, now another one that's really nice to use is let's see, there should be an inner shadow. Yeah, here we go, inner shadow. So we'll click on inner shadow. Okay, right now it's really big, so we're going to bring it down, and you can see over here how you've got the inner shadow line here in the area that it's at, and where the inner shadow is at moves by moving this dial. Okay, also the distance. See how it's moving right here? Watch this line right here. When we adjust the slide, we're going to move it further away, and you see it moving. Okay, and what this is helpful for is if you got these fine lines, like your bright yellow stroke, as opposed to your white area of the flag here in your cross, you want to be able to separate that. You like the colors, but they kind of bleed together in the brighter areas. So that allows you to give a semblance of separation. And if you don't like that harsh line in the shadow, you just adjust the size. You can make it a little softer. You can adjust the opacity if you want it darker or lighter. Okay. You can simulate this all the way around with a shadow. The thing about the inner or the outer shadow is it's based on the direction that the simulated light is coming from. So if it's coming from up here, which it is, you're going to have shadows on this side. If it's coming from up in this area, you're going to have shadows on this side. And that's all, I'll click back on the shadow here, or the inner shadow here. That's all dependent upon, see how that changed down here? That line is pointing to the area that you want the light to be shining from. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and turn off the inner shadow for now. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna create an inner glow right here. Okay, so you might be able to see this a little bit here. Opacity right on the edge. See how that changed a little bit? Kind of a white glow right on the inside of the stroke there. Okay, that's 0. That's 100%. But we're going to simulate a shadow, so that's an even shadow all the way around the alpha channel you created when you deleted the white areas. Okay, and the inner shadow will do the shadow on the inside, or the inner glow will do the glow on the inside, and the outer glow will do it on the outside. Now, you're currently in screen mode, which means that your glow is going to show up on a darker surface. We're looking to create a shadow. Okay, so we're going to switch it to multiply. We're going to click the color and bring it all the way down to dark. Now, if you look in these bright areas here, all the way around, you can see, we'll just click this on and off real quick, you can see that you've created a shadow that goes all the way around, and that also helps to separate the solid stroke that you've created from the more realistic image you've created. And then, if you want to go back into your blending options, and create an overlay, or you can create, some of these do some really extreme stuff, like linear light really blows it out. Okay, saturation will also use the layer that you're using as a saturation mask and bring out the colors based on the brightness values of the image you're using. In this case, we're using the American flag. Okay, so this is darker, this is brighter, and we bring down the saturation, or use the saturation blending mode, and it puts an automatic saturation mask on it. And saturated means more colors, desaturated means less colors. So when you desaturate something, you're essentially removing all the colors, and it becomes grayscale or black and white. Okay. Hard light blows out detail as well, pulls out more of the color information on the brighter end. Vivid light does the same thing, but for different values. Just play around with it a little bit and see what you like. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it here on overlay, so you can see the details of the cross. You can see the details of the flag. You've got a nice little stroke, and you can still see oh, look at that. I wonder what that is. Oh, that's from the cross. Okay, so what you're seeing here is you can't see the shadow recreated anymore on the flag layer, because when we turn the opacity or the blending option to overlay, the cross itself has a stroke on it. Click OK on that, and if I turn off the flag, you can see the stroke around here. I keep pointing out with my finger and forgetting you can't see it. But you can see the stroke on the cross, so when you turn that back on, you you can't see that shadow you created. But you turn that the cross layer off, and you can see it again. So you get the idea. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more to work with and a good understanding of the type of technique that you wanted to use for your Irish cross with your American flag or whatever it is that you wanted to do. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message. Have fun.